What's up, guys? Spin Firearms here, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about my favorite carry handguns from Smith & Wesson, a little bit about each, compare them a little bit, and so on. One thing I want to say about Smith & Wesson is they are doing a lot of awesome things, right? They have so many different options. You have stuff like the CSX, which is basically a modified version of a 1911, but stack and a half with capacity and very, very small. You have pocket pistols like the Bodyguard. You have all these revolvers that they offer, right? Awesome revolvers for carry, massive revolvers for just fun, hunting, whatever the case may be, right? You have top tier carry guns like the Shield Plus. You have handguns you can buy for $300 from Smith & Wesson that are amazing handguns, trusted, reliable, and have been out for a while. There's so many different options that they have, whereas Glock, no revolvers. You don't have a stack and a half micro 9 like every other company does, like the MC9 and the Shield Plus and all that. You just have Glocks, which there's nothing wrong with that, but Smith & Wesson gives you variety. Let's go through my favorite handguns. Like I said, they are all unloaded, safety checked, and cleared. And before we get started, please hit the like button, drop a comment down below, and subscribe. I'd appreciate it. It would really help me out. And on top of that, I work really hard on these videos, and that helps me, right? The number one handgun is going to be the Shield Plus. Obviously clear. The Shield Plus is the best concealed carry handgun from Smith & Wesson. Its capacity, mixed with its trigger, mixed with the fact that it's optics ready in some models. You can get night sight models, you can get the Performance Center, and it's a 9mm, a readily available round, and the most common round and most shootable round for self-defense that still has, well-known power, right? Anyway, Shield Plus, you can get them for like $375 all the way to $450, somewhere in between there. I've even seen them as low as $350. So literally, in my opinion, the third best carry handgun in the world, that's just my opinion, being the Shield Plus for $350 all the way to $450. That's an amazing deal. It's a reliable platform, being the Shield platform, and on top of that, they upgraded that trigger. The trigger is absolutely amazing, and that's one of the things people really like about this handgun. They no longer have the hinge trigger, which we'll show you in a second, because that's still on some of the handguns I like from them. But the trigger is just so clean, crisp, and if you throw a whole grip on there, it makes it a little bit thicker, but it feels literally perfect. And you don't believe me? Go spend the $14 on a whole grip, throw it on one of your Shields or your Shield Plus. You will come back to this video and be like, thank you. You literally just changed my shooting experience with my handgun. Not only does the whole grip absorb recoil, not only does it work while your hands are sweating and give you a little bit more grip, widening it like that just makes it fit the swell of your palm better and just give you an overall better purchase on the handgun. So that's how I do it. It's basically, for me, like a subcompact. That's how I like it. I like thicker grips and stuff like this, but I do like how thin the slide is and the capacity for its size, the weight, all that. Awesome, awesome handgun. Easily my number one choice. Now my second choice is going to be a Shield, not the Shield Plus. This is the Shield 40. And what I love about these is you can find them brand new for $300. That's how much I paid for mine. Yes, it was on sale, but generally speaking, if I didn't tell a lot of people about this handgun that I made in 357 SIG, it would probably still be that price. But everyone went out and bought Shield 40s and saw all my videos and have been for the last year or whatever. And so a lot of the places have raised their prices. We saw that over at SLR Rifle Works with their base plate price going up. We saw, after I made videos on it, we saw that with the Glock 26 frames going for $60. That company doubled their prices when they saw everyone was going there to buy them. So sometimes you do just have an effect on stuff. But you can find these still for $300, $350, and that's an amazing price, right? Especially if you're in a mag restricted state. This is your best bet, right? You can get 7+1 in this setup with mag guts. I had to put mag guts in, or there's a 7-round mag that sits to about here, but 7+1, 8 rounds of 40 mag restricted state. That's your best friend, or in my case, a cheap beater handgun for work. But I made mine in 357 SIG. I just use the conversion barrel. You still use the 40 mags, and you're good to go. And this thing is literally my best friend. This is my work carry. I carry this every day at work. 11, 12-hour shifts. I do new construction plumbing. I have to pocket carry. So I pocket carry in a holster. It looks just like this. I'm a Vetter pocket locker holster. This one's for my Bodyguard. But that's exactly how I carry it. And then when I carry appendix, both my Shield Plus and my Shield 40, which is another nice thing about having both handguns, you can use the same holster. This is the V2 holster from Blacksmith Tactical. Double discrete carry clips and a claw. And I also have a wedge. You can use code SPN for 10% off. In real life, This is my most used holster with my shield. I use this all the time when I'm not pocket carrying. But awesome handguns. Literally, and then I did change out the trigger on this because it did have the hinge trigger. And now it's literally just like the Shield Plus trigger. Apex turned it into basically the same thing as the Shield Plus trigger, and man, did it change that handgun for me. And I just got these sights, $50 on eBay, because if you go on eBay, you'll realize real quick you get awesome quality products for cheap. You're bidding with people, you're making offers. Trust me, guys, it's a cheat code. I've helped many people with that. Next up, I'm going to say is the CSX. I don't care what the internet says. I don't care what anyone says about any firearm in the world. The CSX is an awesome shooting handgun. It is the best shooting Micro 9 out there. The best shooting handgun for its size. And that trigger is just... I know people say it's got a false reset, but look at this. You're not going to be shooting to reset in a self-defense encounter. You're just not. You're just going to be letting it go. And as long as you take your finger off the trigger a little bit like that, you're going to be dumping. I can dump 12, which is with this base plate, or the little extension, 12 plus 1 in 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds. I have the video up on my channel. But this thing has been 100% reliable. It's an amazing shooter for its size. Like I said, the best for its size, I truly believe. But the best part are the ergonomics. It may not look like much. The texturing is perfect here and right here. And man, does this thing just fit your hand, and it's still so small. For reference, look at the Shield Plus. There's slide to slide. That's crazy. Now here's like frame and slide to frame and slide. 10 plus 1 on the right for the Shield Plus. 12 plus 1 on the left for the CSX. So extra 2 rounds, and it's shorter. The CSX is an amazing handgun. I absolutely love this thing. I don't know why people talk down on it. It is great. Oh yeah, I don't think I showed you guys that reset. I mean, like, what? Literally just take your finger off real quick, pull the trigger, not hard. Absolutely love the CSX. Next up, I'm going to have to go, and I love all these handguns, so the order doesn't really mean much because I use them for different things, and I like them all. I have to go Bodyguard, and it's because I carry this more often than a lot of these other handguns, simply because it's one of my 2 favorite pocket pistols. I carry this and the Glock 42 mainly. But anyways, look at that. Perfect pocket locker holster for pocket carry, being active, taking bike rides, playing with the kids, whatever the case may be. Just something to have on you while lounging around the house to get to your bigger stuff, right? The Bodyguard. Double action trigger pull. Comes with a manual safety, but it comes with that awesome finish, which is huge for pocket carry because your handgun gets sweaty. All these Smith & Wessons, what you'll notice, have amazing finishes. Amazing finishes. I love that. Obviously, it's double action. Long reset. But, I mean, you're going to be fine, and I'm not even trying that hard. You're going to be fine with that long trigger, but the point of that is pocket carry, being active, it's not going to go off. I love the Bodyguard. It actually allows you a decent purchase for how small it is, and I can shoot it really well. So I have nothing against this handgun at all. I actually love the Bodyguard. Next up, my Smith & Wesson M&P 40C, and yes, guys, this is a gem because you can rarely find these anywhere. This is the exact same size as the Subcompact, but it's before they called it the Subcompact. So I can use the same holster for both of those once again. But this is the Gen 1, so they call it the Compact. In reality, it's the Subcompact, like I said. A little bit longer in every dimension, or a little bit bigger in every dimension than the Glock 27, right? It's a little bit longer in the slide, a little bit thicker in the frame and slide, and also a little bit longer this way. This setup right here is 10 plus 1 of 40, but you can also use the flush base plate if you want to conceal a little bit better. I can get about 2.5 fingers on it, and man, does it feel good in my hand. I don't mind wider handguns because they shoot better, they have less recoil, and they just fill my hand. This was a law enforcement trade-in. You can find them online. I got mine at Bass Pro. They had a bunch. They had like 30 of them. I'm like, where did you guys get all these M&Ps? And then they said, law enforcement trade-ins. And like they said, always buy their backups because they rarely use them. They rarely train with them. They mainly use their main service firearm, and they only have to have a certain amount of rounds through them. So get their backups. I mean, all law enforcement trade-ins are great. I'm the one who's done all the scratches, all the barrel wear. This thing looked perfect when I got it, and man, do I love that slide finish. I actually went out and bought 3 barrels. I have 3 barrels to last me, so I plan on using this handgun for a long time. The barrels I got were black because the silver was actually law enforcement requested. You can't buy this if you're not law enforcement, from my understanding in the past. So all my barrels are black, but it is what it is. It still actually looks pretty cool, right? Comes with a rail. Different back straps, but mine only came with 1, and it feels really good in the hand, so I'm happy with it. Everything about this handgun I love, but the number one thing is the recoil control. 10 plus 1 of 40 with such minimal recoil. It's like shooting an overpowered 9. It is really nice and smooth on the hand for being a 40, and I love 40 because of that power, plus all the stories I hear. One thing I don't like about it is, obviously cleared safety check, a mag disconnect. That in my opinion, is terrible, but I believe there is a way you can get rid of it. I gotta look into that more. But here's that trigger pull, right, with the hinge. It's not a bad trigger pull at all. It just can feel a little awkward on the finger and cause you to throw shots every now and then. Awesome trigger. I mean, I shoot this thing just fine. I absolutely love it. But I do look forward to getting an Apex put in it. Sorry, that's the Shield Plus. An Apex put in it, just for the overall feel of the trigger. Next up is going to be the exact same size handgun, but a different model. This is the Gen 2 Subcompact. This is the 2.0. But once again, they changed the name. When I talked to KKM Precision, they said, yep, Smith & Wesson is one of the most confusing companies to work with because they change their names up and they don't line up, and they have so many different variants of the one model and barrel lengths. It's a pain in the butt. But notice, the texturing is much better. It comes with 4 back straps. This is my favorite right here. 12 plus 1. Also comes with a flush mag that's also 12 plus 1, which is really nice. Still a big, thick, heavy slide, but that really helps with recoil. 3-dot metal white sights, better than Glock sights right out of the box. This is basically a little bit bigger all around than your Glock 26, if you're looking for a size comparison. It comes with a rail. Both of these do, and the Glock 26 and Glock 27 do not, so that is a nice thing. This one did have a manual safety on it, and I got it for a little cheaper because of that manual safety. I think I paid $420 or $415 out the door with tax and literally everything. So it was an absolute steal. But this handgun shoots 9mm like it's 380. Overpowered 380. I kid you not. These Smith & Wessons that are this thick, for how small they are, they shouldn't be able to hand recoil the way they do. Sorry guys, I guess my newborn just screamed. Sorry about that. But anyways, absolutely love this handgun. I don't carry it as much as I should. It's a great handgun. I really enjoy it. Maybe I'll start taking it out to the range a little bit more and getting experience with it. But my main carried are the ones that were the first, couple. The Bodyguard. Yeah, it's basically these. These are my main carries from Smith & Wesson. All great firearms though. Can't go wrong with any of them. And on top of that, they're pretty budget friendly. Thanks for watching, guys.